So I'm here with Vicky Harrison, and she created the company Crafting the City.
Yeah, that's right.
Explain a little bit to me about what that's about.
Right, so Crafting the City, I don't know whether people know, but we had a giant big knitted city called Briswool, which was made by volunteers who came along to my shop, Paper Village.
Yeah.
And over 7 years, I developed that business to deliver all sorts of community arts projects. We've done things like the Pom Pom Parade, and we did a coral reef, and we've done all sorts of things. And last year I decided to close the shop and just concentrate on the projects. So Crafting the City is a community interest company, and the idea is that I'm designing all kinds of projects that people are coming along and taking part in. And at the moment we've got about 450 volunteers on the books, people who come and join in with things at different times. And they might be crochet or knitting, but they might also be experimental embroidery. You know, we did an embroidery first somewhere called the Gatehouse down at the bottom of Ashton Court, and we did a huge big embroidered map. And at the moment I've got plans, I'm trying to fundraise to do a 6-metre long tapestry of the dockside. That's one of the things I want to do. The crocodile is one of the projects we're doing as part of our dockside projects, and he's here. He's about 3 metres long, but he kind of turns around, and inspiration for him was taken from the pattern on the floor in the pump house in Under 4 Yard. There's a beautiful pattern on the floor that's all made out of octagons and squares, and that was the inspiration for his coat. The reason we've got a crocodile is because we were inspired by the story of Julian, who was a bus driver who saw a crocodile swim over the river in 2014. At that time, we were making Briswool, and we decided that what we'd do is we'd include crocodiles in the gorge, and then each time we've shown Briswool, they've grown bigger and bigger, and now one has grown to this size because of global warming, we think. And I'm hoping that at some time he'll make an appearance with Briswool as well. As a sort of tropical version of Briswool, that's what we're looking to, really. So he's one of a series of projects. He's made out of papier-mâché, for people who are interested, and inside there's lots of wire. All his scoots are wired as well, and he was made in about 14 workshops. So I designed all these bits based on real crocodiles that I'd seen as well. I went up to a place called Crocodile World in Oxfordshire and looked at crocodiles. I read lots of books, I did lots of drawings, and then I had to kind of combine the rust and the patterns in Under 4 Yard with the crocodile designs, and this is how I came up with this. The panels, he's made out of lots and lots of panels made up of 4 pieces, and I ran about 14 workshops. People came along and made the pieces. So some people made just one little piece like this, but some people made 2 or 3 pieces or helped with a specific piece, like Alex, who's here today, and Pauline helped me make the teeth because they were a bit fiddly for lots of people. And some people at home made these bits. I made his eyeballs at home.
Gosh,
and his toenails and things. And then as these pieces came back in, I started to crochet and sew them together. So these little squares here are connector squares that connect everything together, and I had to do lots of those as I went along and had to wire his spokes. He's very beautiful underneath. He's different colours underneath, like a crocodile, and there's some panels beautiful panels that people crocheted.
How long do you think it took altogether?
Oh, it's hard to say. I mean, it's taken 8 months, and it's hundreds of hours. If you think, I started sewing him together, it was back in August I started sewing him together. So that's August, September, and we're into October, and I've been sewing him every day, doing bits on him. So with the exception of a few days, because we have to have a few breaks. So, I mean, it takes a really, really long time. If you wrote it down, it'd be hundreds of hours, but if you think of it that way, you just panic and you'll never do another thing again. And it would have taken a lot longer were it not for... Well, it's a difficult one because the point of doing the workshops and stuff is to involve people in it, and it's nice doing things with people and with people's input and stuff. So, yeah. And he's different from some of the other projects I do in that he was specifically like designed and then people made parts. Whereas, for instance, we're about to turn the buoy outside on the 10th of December. We're going to turn the giant buoy in Brunel Square into a giant bauble, all covered in hexagons. And that project has been designed so that people with quite a low level of skill or a high level of skill can get involved.
Similar thing to this?
It'll work in the same way. And we've only done about 3 workshops because actually people are making them at home because some people have got quite a high level of skill. but it is something that a variety of people can join in with, and they can knit or crochet hexagons to that. So I'll do that project, and then we've got another project going on which we're fundraising for at the moment, and this exhibition is part of that fundraising, to create a crochet flock of woolly seagulls, a huge flock of woolly seagulls. There's going to be at least 60, and Stylecraft Yarn have provided me with yarn for about 60, and we're running workshops at Underfall Yard, at SS Great Britain, up at Shed, and in some of the libraries to make these seagulls. So I've designed a herring gull so far. We're doing lesser black-backed gulls, black-headed gulls. It's all about the gulls that live on the harbour side out here. And I'm partnering up with someone from the university who's a researcher, because the gulls in Bristol are really well studied. So that project is sort of just starting now. We're having a go at making some gulls. We've got one model of a life-size one so far, and we've got about 40 people signed up to workshops so far for that. And then all these things will go on display together at different times, and sort of the projects are all interlinked, and sort of, you know, I'm up for suggestions from people. So for instance, Underfall Yard asked me when he's been to SS Great Britain, could we take him down there, and he's going to live in amongst all the pump equipment and stuff at Underfall Yard for a while. Yeah. And I think on Monday the 30th he's going to travel down the river from SS Great Britain to Underfall Yard on a ferry.
This Monday the 30th?
On Monday the 30th. And if it's a nice sunny day, maybe I haven't asked them yet, but maybe we can get him on the roof, because that'd be great. No, they have agreed to take him, but we haven't decided where he's going to be on the boat. So, yeah. So we want people to come along and come and see him, come and find out about all our projects, come and tell us what you think, and maybe become one of the volunteers.
And he's on display until Sunday.
Yeah, until Sunday. So 23rd to 29th, from 11 o'clock till 4 every day, he's on display.
That's perfect. Well, thank you so much. I just thought I'd mention that we are actually here. We're joined by the person who discovered the crocodile, or so said, in 2014 at the River Avon. So just tell me a little bit about that.
Whilst driving on a number 11 route by the little Grosvenor Hotel, I looked in the river and I saw a beast like this swim across from a stationary position, and I watched it go up the river towards the bridge, quite clearly see what it was, and this is a lovely piece to show what I saw. So I'm very pleased to come and see this. Massive amount of work gone into it, and it really is out there.
That's perfect. Well, thank you ever so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to see us.